Now to a story you will see only on Fox. Marcus Lattimore is one of the most well-known football players ever to come out of the state. Once considered a sure thing, a series of injuries, though, derailed his career.
But sports anchor Aaron Cheslock found that Lattimore is just hitting his prime without the pads.
Yeah, Cody, Diana, and one of the most remarkable football stories ever to come out of South Carolina. What's known is Lattimore's perseverance to get back on the field. What's not, and as notable, is the selfless acts by the women in his support system who time and time again continue to motivate Marcus.
What if your dream turned into a nightmare?
Marcus Lattimore, I hope your knee feels better.
Hundreds of thousands of letters.
They just said, get better. I love that.
All to Marcus Lattimore, perhaps the greatest what-if story in South Carolina football history. Yolanda Smith sits in Duncan, the place where it all started, going through these letters. Her garage, still full of them. She can't bring herself to throw them out. Back in 2008, Lattimore's getting different kinds of letters. One of the best prospects to ever strap it up for Burns High, a place where the future football star finds his future wife on the track, a freshman named Miranda Bailey, who didn't know a thing about football, but quickly realized how big a star her new boyfriend was.
That's the best fit for me.
When he chose the Gamecocks for college, the upstate sensation became headline news.
People were texting me like, it's on the news. I'm like, on the news? Why is it on the news? You know, like, it's just college. You know, you just write it, and then apparently it was a really big deal.
They calling me the face of the program, the savior. I'm still at Burns High School, and scared to death.
Lattimore lit the Midlands on fire, put the SEC on notice. His mom went to every game, but couldn't watch. Simply too dangerous, even though Marcus had never been hurt.
In the 3 years that Marcus was at USC, I was able to take over 20,000 pictures. And that's how I passed my time in the sand.
6 games into his sophomore season, the Heisman frontrunners still dismantling opposing defenses. But then the injury bug, a torn ACL and MCL.
I saw the play because I kept my eye on him. For whatever reason, I saw that time. And he didn't get up.
I didn't grasp it. I did not grasp that's the worst injury a running back can have.
Sidelined for the remainder of his sophomore season, Marcus relies on his mom and girlfriend for relief.
Man, I probably heard, how's the rehab, how's the knee 100,000 times. And that's not exaggerating, but when I went home, I was just in another world. I mean, because everywhere I went, everything I did, how's the knee, how's the knee, how's the knee? When I come home, what we eat tonight? Complete serenity.
2012, the junior shows he's back. Then, Tennessee week. Lattimore, a team captain, addresses the Gamecocks the night before the game.
And I said, guys, you got to go out there and play every play like it's your last, because you never know, it might be your last.
After scoring on a 28-yard scamper for his 41st career touchdown, Lattimore's cautionary message rings true.
I grab my leg and I see my knee. It's on the outside of my leg. I'm get back up, let's go. There's no way there's no possible way I'm about to sit out this season. No way. After all of them been through, I asked him, am I done? Am I done? He's like, yes, you're done. Then I start crying.
His mom in the stands.
I didn't even see it happen. People get quiet. So I just start running. And I say, no, not again. He's crying. I say, it's okay, Marcus, it's okay. And he kept apologizing. I never did look at his leg. Then we're told the reality of what's really going on. It was devastating.
His girlfriend's just getting home from work.
I hear the announcer say, Lattimore's down. I'm like, No. I see him on the ground and the camera's right on him. And I'm like, get up. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, his face, just looked. I immediately put on my shoes and I didn't wait on anything else. Just started running to the stadium, didn't stop till I got there.
One of the worst injuries any running back's ever had. Ligaments, muscles, nerves, arteries, ripped and shredded. It's questionable whether the guy famous for running would ever be able to walk again.
We worked so hard to come back, and knowing how much time and effort he put into it. Like, I mean, they told him that he wouldn't be able to walk.
Lattimore sits at his lowest point, but after a visit from friend Dylan Thompson and a phone call from, interestingly enough, Tigers coach Dabo Swinney, he decides to come back again, all to reach his dream. Lattimore, along with his mom and fiance, take us on the rest of their journey in part 2, coming up at 11. Certainly an interesting story to this point. Lattimore, 2 knee injuries in a fashion that maybe no running back has ever gone through, and decides to come back again, and we all know by now he manages to get to the NFL.
Wow, isn't that something? And, you know, to hear him talk about that moment and experiencing that and laying there on the ground, because we all remember that injury. I think everybody across the state stopped what they were doing and watched that. To hear him think about that and to get that realization that he was so badly hurt. Wow, it's amazing what he went through.
And I think his mother's perspective speaks volumes as well, because what do? Your son's trying to reach his dream, but you don't want your son to get hurt. And I think every mother can relate to that kind of feeling.
All right. Be interesting to see the rest of that story. It's coming up in just a little bit. Aaron will be back with us. Yeah.